All right, we're back. We had a short hiatus for the 4th of July holiday.
Yep.
Were you in town? Or
Yes.
You were out in town. Okay, where were you during the fireworks?
We went out on the lake.
On Flower?
Yeah.
Where?
Which I've never.
Where on Flower were you?
Right by the lodge, but
Okay.
right kind of at the end of the bay.
Okay.
Boot Bay.
Yeah.
Or Pontiac, whatever they call it.
Pontiac, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it was the first time we ever did that, and it was fun.
Nice.
I can see the allure to it. We didn't have our own boat.
Sure,
we
but
were with some
from
friends, and it was fun.
Nice. I thought you were out of town for some reason, but that's, yeah. So
Nope.
you, like anybody else who was in earshot, was hopefully there. But if you were there 20 minutes or so before the show, or half hour, you were surprised with the Star Spangled Banner. Did you hear this?
I didn't hear that.
No, you didn't see it. So
we were late getting out. Getting out. On
so
the
about
lake.
a half hour before the fireworks went off, there was with no announcement, no anything. All of a sudden, a hard electric guitar, Star Spangled Banner, likes of Jimi Hendrix. Was
oh my goodness!
being done by somebody. And people I was with knew who it was. I forget the name. I apologize. Standing on top of Mountain Mist with just an amp and a guitar.
That's awesome!
I got a video of it. I'll show you. It was really cool. So
that's great.
And then he played I want to say it was a Motley Crue song. But anyway, it was really cool. And the show was great. We were like right as close as you could get to being underneath the fireworks.
Well, so were we.
Yeah.
So we were probably
great.
right next to each other and didn't even know it.
Yeah. So great time, great show as always. I was disappointed. I guess they've now outlawed my favorite ones were always the ones with like the little like the flash of like lightning and the sonic boom kind of.
Oh, they don't allow that anymore?
They didn't do those, and I heard that they kind of got rid of those because those are the worst. The arguments against fireworks, it disrupts animals and wildlife. Yeah. I guess those are the worst. So I get it. Okay, so that's not why we're here tonight. I was reading the paper a few days ago, and I saw that my partner in crime here was deciding to run for election to the Harrietstown board.
Yep.
And I figure, all right, I guess I'm the last person to know. But I figure why not? We might as well talk about that tonight because this is our podcast. It's about Saranac Lake. If you weren't the host, we certainly would reach out to you and say, hey, you want to come on here and talk?
That's true. Yep.
So,
yeah.
First question. Got a bunch of hard-hitting ones on my phone here, but the first would be...
I'm really nervous now.
What in the world is it / what is Harrietstown? Because people, if you especially if you've moved here and you're not really familiar, because there's the village of Saranac Lake, there's Franklin County, Essex County, and there's also Harrietstown. So right. What is Harrietstown? What does it control?
Harrietstown is a subdivision of Franklin County.
Okay.
So all of Franklin County is divided into 15 towns. I think there's 19 towns and villages total, but something like 15 towns. And there's no part of Franklin County that's not in some town. Harrietstown is one of them.
Being Town of North Elba.
Town North Elba is a town, but that's in Essex County.
That's Essex County.
Yeah, it's confusing around here.
Yes.
It's confusing no matter where you are in New York.
It's a lot of lines on that.
But then here, we've made it even more confusing by having a village that straddles a county line.
Yep. It's like that. Where is it? Someplace in the Midwest where you can like stand and there's like the 4 states that meet and you can kind of right, like, whatever it is. Anyway, so
4 corners. Yes, here you can go on Shepherd Avenue.
Yeah,
and stand on either side of Shepherd Avenue and be in 2 different towns in 2 different counties.
You can be a world traveler.
Crossing
the sidewalk.
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, Harrietstown is one of the subdivisions of Franklin County.
Okay.
It has its own town. It has its own government. Mm-hmm. And an elected town board that consists of a supervisor and 4 board members.
We had Jordana on a few weeks ago,
right?
Who was the current supervisor.
Yep.
And there's an open seat, two open seats.
Yep.
And last I heard, there was originally there would be 3 folks running for those 2 seats. Would have been yourself, Ashley Milne, and Jeff. Forgetting his last name,
Dinkenberger.
Yep. But Jeff has subsequently stepped out of the race.
Right.
So, but there still is the Republican caucus to be held.
Which is it's now been decided.
Oh, been decided.
Yep.
What happened?
Same result.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
I think last to know about that one too.
Exactly. No, I guess was I behind the Enterprise or was the Enterprise? I don't know. But it sounds like you probably got a pretty good shot at this thing.
if I can file the paperwork on time, it does seem like that.
Nice.
So it's really exciting.
Okay.
And well, let's just talk a little bit more about this, what Harrietstown is,
sure.
because when you have a village like Saranac Lake,
right,
villages are not subdivision. They're not carved out of the county like a town is.
Okay.
They sit on top of the town,
okay,
wherever it's located.
mm-hmm.
And so in your case and in my case, we both live in the town of Harrietstown.
Mm-hmm.
We are Franklin County residents, but we're also Harrietstown residents.
Yep.
We're also village residents.
Correct.
Because we own property
mm-hmm.
in Franklin County and Harrietstown. We pay Franklin County taxes, Harrietstown taxes,
mm-hmm.
Village taxes.
Yeah.
And we can vote in elections related to any of those jurisdictions.
Yep.
So
what? Now we know what it is. What does it? So if you're walking around Saranac Lake, driving around, whatever it is, and what might you see that Harrietstown is in control of? Because there's certainly plenty of things that the village is in charge of, makes decisions about its use and whatnot, maintenance of it. What does Harrietstown control?
Well, most of what Harrietstown works on is outside of village boundaries.
Okay.
So let's take the Beechwood subdivision and Trudeau Road. I mean, some of that's in St. Armand, but that area of town is not in the village.
Right.
And so those roads are not maintained by village DPW. Those are maintained by the town highway department.
Gotcha.
Now, the one visible asset that the town has in the village is the town hall. So that's a town-owned property. They maintain it. They operate it. And it's, as you know, quite the community asset.
Absolutely.
And has been for 100 years.
Yeah.
So the town, that's something that people really, everybody knows town hall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty iconic.
Yep.
It gets used for a lot of things. Dewey Mountain is another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's owned by Town of Harrietstown.
Yep.
The airport. Big. I mean, that's a huge asset.
Those are three huge things. So you talk about, I mean, obviously the town hall is a major, it's kind of it's the Empire State Building of downtown SL, to say. I mean, everyone knows it's a landmark. Dewey Mountain. I mean, a lot of people that live here are into cross country skiing, whatever it might be. So that's a huge draw. Mountain biking. That's a huge facility. And
just think about the expansion
mm-hmm.
that they went through a few years ago.
Yep.
Where they added a bunch of land to it.
Yeah.
That was a town-driven project, obviously with a lot of volunteers and things,
sure.
but they were the ones that made that expansion happen.
Okay.
So a lot happens in the town. Yep. And, for the average person, you just want it to work, right? Yeah. You want to live here. You want to have a good experience. You just want to be able to go to the Civic Center. You want to go to work. You just want to do your thing. And we don't always think about like what entity is operating that facility, or what entity is providing that service.
Sure.
But, in our case, there are different entities doing different things.
Well, that's why I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, because again, if you're not following closely, you might just assume, especially the town hall, you would just assume that clearly the village manages that because that's where they have all their meetings. That's right. They must be in charge of that. They're not.
Nope.
They rent it. So why am I forgetting the third one though? So you said Dewey and the town hall and
the airport.
The airport, yeah. I mean, so then there's another huge expansion happening there. So, and the airport is done. I mean, besides having an amazing dining facility,
we've talked about that. I think,
has done wonders for the area in terms of now. I mean, the ability to connect to Boston, to New York City, to obviously down to Florida. So
it has regional impacts on our economy.
I love.
Far beyond the boundaries of Harrietstown.
Oh, yeah. I love going on the kayak and being able to type in SLK into the search bar for,
Pretty cool.
Used to always be BTV.
Yep.
All right. So, but you have decided that you wanted to get involved in, I mean, I don't think I'm out of bounds to say that we have, probably like most towns, we have a lot of people who are quick to comment on issues going on in where they live, but don't ever choose to get involved.
Yep.
You're choosing to get involved. You've been on you served on the school board for many years, multiple terms. So you've certainly, done your time in terms of volunteer work on a board and getting involved in supporting the community. But what is it that made you decide to run for the open position on the Harrietstown board?
I don't know if it's any one thing, but I would say that just like so many people who want to be involved in this community, a lot of people gravitate towards something that they feel like they are, more interested in, more qualified in, and just it's a way to give back. That's how I feel.
Sure.
I mean, I got a lot of experience, and I just want to put it to work. I'm just not really good at being just kind of sitting on the sidelines. Being a Monday morning quarterback.
We got enough of those here.
So I'd rather, even if I'm making mistakes or trying to do my best to make mistakes, I'd rather just get into it and work on stuff.
Well, you got to, I'm on the school board. You were on the school board. You know that you could hand 100 people a winning lottery ticket. 5 of them are complaining about paying the taxes on it. Like, you're never going to make everyone happy.
Yes.
But we need people like yourself who are willing to serve. And here you go, a situation as well where school board election recently, 3 open seats. No one else ran besides the incumbents. They stayed on the board. 2 open seats now. You'll be a new face, but there's no competition anymore, really. So it's not that there aren't people who, we talked before, why am I forgetting her name, who does a lot of volunteer work here. We had her on a guest in studio. Liz. We have a lot of people out there who care a lot and do stuff. So I think it's great that you want to do this. Hopefully it won't impact our schedule of recording podcasts, but we'll work around that.
We will charge forward.
What is
priorities? Justin, priorities.
Well, that's what I tell my wife all the time. Hey, I know there's 2 crying babies right now, but I have to go in the basement and do a podcast. I'm sorry, I can't help. And our lawn is never.
When you actually say that, that's the day the podcast is shut down.
That'll be the last episode. Well, and our lawns never look better because I'm constantly doing landscaping. So, all right. So, are there any? For me, when I ran for school board, there were specific things that I was like, I want to address or want to get involved in A, B, and C. Is there any specific projects that that's going on with the town that you're really excited about, or is it more just generally you've got experience and you know that knowledge can be put to good use?
I think it's a personality quirk, but hopefully in this case it's useful. I'm interested in just about anything and everything that a local municipal government can get itself involved in, whether it's the village or the town. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's all interesting to me for a variety of reasons. But more specifically, I am interested in the airport and doing whatever I can to help make sure that Corey, who's the airport manager, and the rest of the town board are successful in making that terminal expansion happen. I think it's a really exciting project. And anything else, any other challenges or opportunities that the airport faces, I want to just get to work trying to help out. I'm also really interested in the rail trail. Harrietstown has, I'm not sure how many miles of this new rail trail within its boundaries. I think it's a great opportunity. It's going to be a great asset. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people that live along it, especially out in Lake Clear. And I'm interested in seeing and trying to help with any real or perceived issues that come from potential users, conflicts between users and private property owners, right? Like, so what happens when there's somewhere somebody wants to get off of the trail, and the easiest way to do that is through someone's side yard, right? Like, so there's going to be things like that. And I want the rail trail to be an amazing success, but I also want to make sure that people's rights are preserved,
Yeah.
and that problems like that there's a mechanism for resolving those.
Mm-hmm.
So that really excites me and intrigues me.
So
trying to figure that out.
I don't think we would need to do a whole episode on the rail trail, but you bringing it up, I mean, a lot of folks are familiar with it. But so for anybody who isn't paying too close attention to that, where exactly is the rail trail running, start to finish? What's our timeline? All of that, because everyone talks about the rail trail. I mean, a lot of folks. What's kind of the status there?
So we all, I think we all know that the tracks were removed between Tupper Lake and Lake Placid.
Yep.
And the project is to kind of rehabilitate the surface and for most of it put down stone dust or really fine gravel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really nice walking and
Yep.
and biking surface, and smooth snowmobile surface in the winter. They started first on the section between the village and Lake Placid, so between the two villages.
Yep.
But they just started work on the section between the village and Tupper Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's going to be, I'm not sure what the extent of how far out they're going
Sure.
on that second phase, but they've started.
Mm-hmm.
That first phase, I think, is supposed to be done by the end of the year.
Okay.
And then this second phase that includes Lake Clear and the causeway by Lake Colby
Yep.
is going to be a little bit longer.
Okay. All right. So when is the election?
November.
November.
I don't know what day.
Okay. And how long?
Is it second Tuesday? Is that election
right.
day?
That sounds like something I've heard before. And how long is the term?
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And where do you all meet?
It's there's a small conference room or boardroom in the basement of the town hall.
Okay. All right. And similar to village meetings, if the public wants to attend, they can?
Absolutely. I believe they have public comment periods.
Are these attended as well as the village board meetings? Just, well, to the extent that those are as well?
I think they have attendance. I mean, the village doesn't get a ton of attendance either for the size of the municipality, but that's just the way life goes these days.
I do have one request as a voting member of Harrietstown.
Well, you don't pay your water and sewer bill to Harrietstown. You pay it directly to the village. So
where I was going with that.
If you want to do it online, you got to talk to the village about that.
Nope. My one issue, and I will take that up with them later dates. There better not be any pickleball courts showing up at Dewey Mountain. That's all I can say. So
wow,
they're everywhere.
Boy, you're dropping the hammer.
Not to get us really in the weeds here with pickleball. Nothing against pickleball. It seems like a lot of fun. I've been at Garwood Park the last few days with my daughter playing basketball, and there's always a raucous group of pickleballers, and they're really intense. Nothing against it. But I feel like we have a lot of those courts popping up, and that's wonderful. But no more.
Okay, well, you've dropped the hammer here. Maybe we need to have a pickleball fanatic on, and you guys can have a debate.
I would love to challenge.
I'll moderate a discussion on pickleball.
I'll be honest. I used to be pretty good at tennis, and I still consider myself pretty good at ping pong. And I've read that pickleball is the conglomeration of tennis and ping pong.
Wow,
that's what I've read. So,
well,
I've never played pickleball though. So, but maybe
I played it without a net.
Without a net
in a driveway.
Okay.
Over the weekend for the first time ever.
How was that?
Great.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, he's already angling for a
However,
pickleball court.
I just actually this evening had someone say, "Did you read about that article where people who live next to tennis courts that have been converted to pickleball are starting to get get tired of the noise?"
It's not a minor noise. I'll put it that way.
Because tennis is pretty quiet.
Pickleball's loud.
Speaking.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're
keep that in mind.
This is not a pickleball episode, but
but maybe the town needs a pickleball court.
See, now we're going into dangerous territory.
Just not a Dewey.
Not a Dewey.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're only at less than 20 minutes here.
That's
but
okay.
No reason. So, but is there anything else? We have until November until the election happens. It sounds like it's been decided who's going to be running for the 2 seats.
For at least as far as the Republicans and Democrats have both made their nominations, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you will be willing to do it.
Well, and I would just say I'm going to keep telling people this until someone, I have had people reach out saying, hey, congratulations on running for town board. Let me bend your ear about this. And I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Because I might have an opinion on most things when it comes to town or village government, but every single time I talk to someone, 99% of the time, I learn something from them. So, and I think that's really important to always be talking to folks. And I really want to use the next several months before the election to do that. So,
well, I think that's great. I mean, and that's I think what makes a great person to serve on any board is that you're willing to listen to people, and that's something that you have a ton of knowledge, but somebody might come to you with an issue with a different angle, and
happens all the time.
You might be convinced. So
it's great.
That's the right attitude to have for sure. All right. Well,
okay.
We did it. We're back from our little short hiatus, and we're going to end the session so I can show Jeremy a really cool video of Jimi Hendrix style electric guitar.
I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah. If whoever is out there knows who did that, let us know, because that was really cool. So, all right.
Okay.
Until next time.